morning. Well, the snow is melting as I think the temperature comes up. But what a strange thing to have snow in April. I'm changing the color temperature of the light because I think I was completely washed out with the cold temperature light. Well, let's get ourselves ready to ride today. Adjust your resistance way down, slow your legs way down. And if you feel like it, recommend it. Sit up tall like this and let your shoulders and arms just relax. Allow the weight to pull down on your neck. Just let your arms swing nice and easy. Relax your fingers. Can now just pay attention to the feeling of the muscles. As they apply force to the pedals. Just notice that. Because we have really light resistance on now and we're pedaling slowly, these are just very small contractions of the muscles, but they're noticeable. And we can release any tension in the belly. And just allow our inner core muscles and skeleton to hold us in this upright position. We can notice the weight being held by the spine in the upper body, which might remind you to relax the neck a little bit. Maybe align the weight of your head with the rest of the spine. You feel that point where the weight's aligned. Now let's place our hands on the handlebars. Just nice and light without any gripping or any real attachment to the bike, you know, just rest your hands there. And wiggle your fingers. The resistance light, let's just bring our leg speed up now to about 90 RPM. And still with the relaxed belly, let's check to make sure our spine is neutral, as we like to say. Not arched one way, over or under, you know what I mean? Like this, or like this. You see both a lot in spin videos on Instagram. That arching like this, or that arching like this. What we want is neutrality in the upper body. So you can practice that body awareness throughout the class, even without me mentioning it. You can learn to tune into your body and be aware of your posture. Let's bring our leg speed up to match this song right here. You'll be setting one foot down on that snare drum sound. And our goal here is to keep the hips very calm on the saddle. And the upper body relaxed. Elbows are slightly bent. Just feeling the warmth coming into the muscles of the legs now. Maybe take a deep breath from your relaxed belly. Settle your weight. We're just going to stitch together these circles. Oh, the snow's coming down again. So you got the rhythm? I have my left foot landing on the beat. Even though I'm right-handed, I'm left-footed for the most part. When I was on track teams, doing sprints and jumps, I always led with the left leg. On my long jumps, I took off from the left leg. It was my dominant leg in sprints when setting up my blocks. It's weird, huh? I think I'm kind of ambidextrous. I can use my left hand to do a lot of things too. Probably it's one of those kids forced into being right-handed, you know what I mean? Used to do that a lot. People did. 1, 2, 3. All right, slow your legs down again. Let's sit up for a second. We still have light resistance on. I'm just shaking out my shoulders a little bit, shaking out my arms a little bit. I've noticed my breath has picked up a little bit. My legs feel warmer. Right now, we're going to come back into our handlebars. We're going to speed up to the rhythm of the song again. If that caused any kind of real discomfort in the muscle of the legs, take some resistance out right now. We don't want that to be uncomfortable. We want it to be fast and smooth. And to get that heart rate up and bring some warmth into the legs. In 3. In 2. In 1. Returning to the handlebars, come on up to the speed. And this is a perfect chance for us to practice stitching together that full circle pedal stroke. So rather than just pushing down with the quads, I want you to think about pulling through the bottom using your calves and hamstrings. And then start to integrate the downward part of the pedal stroke with that transition through the bottom and coming up the back. That'll get you a long way to stitching together a full circle pedal stroke. You can sense it. You might notice sometimes I actually just put my hands on the muscles of my legs to feel them working. I can feel the hamstring contract as I scrape through. I do that just to be more in touch with my body working. It's almost unconscious. I don't even think about doing it. I do that out on the road too. Outside, I'll feel my legs. It's my way of just being aware of the body and its work. In 3, and 2, and 1. All right, let's slow the legs down. Grab a little water. That's a beautiful warm-up. I feel warm now. And as always, I'm checking with my breathing, see where it is. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about 2, maybe 3. But my whole body feels warmer now, and my legs feel much more loose and supple than they did before. So now we can start to bring in some more work. Get the heart rate up higher. Start to sweat a little bit. Maybe a little discomfort in the muscles of the legs. It's okay. All right, I'm returning myself to my handlebars now. I'm checking my hands on the bars, where the weight in my hand falls. I'm checking my elbows to make sure they're slightly bent. Now I'm just allowing my body to align to the rhythm of the song. It's such a beautiful practice. It involves listening. All right, you got the rhythm? Reaching down, we're going to add resistance. So we feel the work coming now into the different muscle groups of the hips and the legs. Not quite what it would feel like to be into a hill. More like a pretty moderate headwind. Let's try to notice together where we most feel this in the legs right now. The legs are feeling so much warmer. I can see that my breath is starting to elevate. Can you add a tiny bit more resistance? Still, I don't want it to feel like a hill. Maybe it's a gradual incline with a little bit of headwind. So I don't want this to be just like, oh my goodness, I'm going uphill. How long can I hold this? I want it to be more like, okay, this requires work. to keep the legs at this pedal speed. So we're feeling a little fatigue coming to the muscles. I can feel sweat starting to form. And it's okay every now and then to sit up like this, keeping the same effort. You really notice how it changes the ability of the hips to contribute to the pedal stroke. Try it and then come back to the handlebars. Notice how much more effective you can be with the hips and the glutes. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Accelerate your legs by 10 RPM. Yeah, this becomes uncomfortable, doesn't it? And 3, and 2, and 1. Let's dial our resistance all the way back down. Breathing for me. Now 4 or 5. Sweatiness. Present. Let's come back down into a position on the handlebars on your own. Scan from the hands to the shoulders, to the neck, down the spine. Make sure everything's relaxed. And bring your legs up to the rhythm of this song. Keeping the resistance light for now. Using this rhythm, we're going to adjust the effort level just by adding and taking out resistance. We're going to hold this rhythm the whole time, and we're just going to play around with body awareness and sense of what our legs or bodies are capable of. So the first step is I want you to add resistance that you feel you could hold for about 10 minutes, although it would be a very, very difficult struggle. I just added mine. And I'm noticing now where in the legs I'm feeling this. And this is a great chance now to feel the scraping the mud through the bottom of the pedal stroke, pulling through calves, hamstrings engaged, hips pushing you over the top, you know. Push, that hip push. Now think to yourself, did I get it right? Is that 10-minute, well, 8-minute number now something I could do, but it'd be extremely difficult, or is that out of reach? Is it too easy? Adjust. I think I overdid it a little bit. Now, when I count us down from 4, I want you to add resistance you don't think you could hold at this pedal speed for 2 minutes. Couldn't do it for 2 minutes. In 3, and 2, 1. Add resistance. Couldn't do it for 2 minutes. Now this is like grimacing time, right? And if that is so, just relax your face, relax your jaw. Now dial your resistance back to what you could hold for 10 to 15 minutes. I love these kinds of cues, right? Forces you to think about the effort, what you could do, forces you to get clear about where your mind is. Now, we're going to add in resistance we don't think we could hold for 1 minute. Holding the same rhythm. In 3, in 2, and 1. Add that in. Really strong discomfort, even at the beginning here. In 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Dial your resistance all the way down. Slow your legs. Come off the rhythm. So I'm not saying much because I'm really out of breath. If you feel like at any point, you're welcome just to stop, stand up and take some pressure off the sit bones and stretch the calves. You can do that anytime you want during class. Using our light resistance. Just get yourself this rhythm. It's going to be quite slow. You'll find one foot comes down on that. Now reach down, create a hill in the muscles of your legs, create a hill in your mind. And when I say in your mind, I mean a hill makes us think, whoa, this is hard. This requires a great deal of focus and commitment. Hills are almost always uncomfortable from the very beginning. Time for us to come out of the saddle. For any of you who are new to revo-cycle riding, when we stand up, we add even more resistance so that it's nearly impossible to pedal that seated and we have to sand it into it. That's what we do. The sequence is add resistance as we hold the rhythm and then ease out onto the pedals. In 3 and 2, 1. Add it. Hold your rhythm. Yes, this is extremely hard. Shouldn't be able to do it more than 45 seconds to a minute. And 2 and 1. Back to seated climbing by reducing the resistance. Relax the belly now. Allow it to expand and contract to pull that oxygen in to the lungs. Beautiful moment to sense the hips pushing you through the heels of the foot over the top. Don't make this all quad stomp. Coming up again in 3 and 2 and 1. Add it in. In 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to flat road easy. Slow your legs. Put a number on your breathing right now. 1 is completely relaxed. 10 is can't say a word. I can feel my heart beating very hard. My breathing's 7 or 8, probably 8, 7 now. So after a kind of hard climb like that, the legs feel bloated a little bit. A little heavy, and I love just coming up to about 85 to 90 RPM with light resistance and noticing as the smoothness and the lightness returns to the legs. So let's do that together. Let's have it at a level that will kind of keep your heart from slowing more. And within a couple minutes, started climbing back up again. So we're kind of stopping the slowdown of the heart, stabilizing, and then it might start to climb again. That's the kind of effort I would like us to be in right now. And don't forget, we can always practice our hips being nicely stable on the saddle, but also a little dynamic. We can always practice extending the pedal stroke further down and then through. It's always there for us. Whenever the mind starts to wander, we can return to these things. What's your neck doing at this very moment? Can you relax a little bit? Maybe visualize how it's aligned with the rest of the spine. Slow your legs for just a second. Notice what that did to your heart rate. Mine's actually back up a little bit now. I would like for us to let the legs recover for just a second, so slow them way down like this. Maybe drink some water. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back into the seated position, check our bodies, make sure that they're in a beautiful cycling position, and then we're going to sprint seated for 20 seconds. Sprint as hard as we can. RPM at 100 or a little above. Resistance quite high. An effort that we overall could not hold 45 seconds. That's a sprint. That's what we're going to do. All right. Let's get to our handlebars. Do your own body scan now. Do what it takes to get you relaxed and supple in the saddle. You ready to sprint? In 3, 2, 1. Accelerate the legs to about 100 or maybe a little bit more. Add that resistance so you couldn't hold it 45 seconds. Now distribute the work through the whole circle. And slow your legs, reduce the resistance. And notice how your breath continues to come up even after you're done with the sprint. And yeah, those are uncomfortable. And I can guarantee you that if you would have said another 25 seconds on that, I don't think I could have done it. We're going to finish up today with a meditative climb. This has a beautiful rhythm for us to follow. So start off by letting your legs find this rhythm. Remember, this is part of the practice. It's not wasting time aligning our bodies to the rhythm. It's very active time. Now let's dial in resistance. That feels like we've entered a very challenging hill. And if you want, you can look at my hips. You see they're rocking a little bit. That's the lower back and the glutes pushing through the top of the pedal stroke. Notice my upper body still very much decoupled from the lower body. I'm really just balancing myself on the handlebars here. Breath picking up. Try your hands in the middle of the bars like mine. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. This is just a classic cycling position. You don't need to worry about wind resistance, right, when we're climbing slowly up a steep hill. So we can get this chest up high. And that's why you use the lower back and the hips more efficiently. you feel like your legs are in great discomfort right now, cool. That's a hill. Notice what your breathing's doing right now. If you have a heart rate monitor, check that. Should be climbing upwards. You ready to stand? You know what to do. Add resistance before you stand in 3 and 2 and 1. Add resistance, come out onto the pedals, check the weight on your hands. It's relatively light because our weight's going into the pedal stroke. And 2 and 1. Come on down to seated climbing. The legs are hurting. Yes. Get those hips involved. Take a little pressure off the quads. Bring it on back to light. Let's start to recover. In our recovery, we're just pedaling very slowly. Our resistance is down. And our goal is to watch our heart rates slow and notice the breath slowing along with it. Maybe put a number on your breathing right now. I'm going to take a little more resistance out. Take the work out of the muscles even more.